Good morning, everyone. We're here with Abraham Carranza in I Am Mastermind Studio here in Lubbock, Texas.
Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. We're just getting our I Am Studios Scaling for Life started here. And so you guys know, we're doing this every week. And we're doing this Monday through Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. You guys are interested, send us a message. And as well, we always have a seminar, live seminar workshop that we're doing every month. And that's going to be on the 30th of June. So I'm inviting you guys to that as well. Take a look at our links and take a look at and see what we're doing. Get signed up. It's important to understand truly what we're truly doing here. We're not here just to do something. We're here on purpose, and because we're here on purpose, we're touching beyond here as well. We're here to help people. We're here to help people win in life, and to know what winning looks like. What does success look like? And success is truly not normal. Success is beyond what normal people do, and that's why so few people do it. Success, it takes work to be successful. It takes courage to be successful. It takes going against what you want to do to be successful. It really takes being somebody new to be successful. When we look at the circumstances that we have today, on a general rule of thumb, they're what you know how to do. That's why success is so unnatural, because you're going against who you are. Because you're not acting as you are. So anytime you want to be successful, that means going beyond what you know how to do. You're gonna have to go against the grain. You're gonna have to go against your own thoughts. You're gonna have to go against your own behaviors. You're gonna have to go. Why? Because that's not you. You're trying to be something that you're not. That's not normal. So being successfully achieving and going beyond what you know how to do is not done within the common majority of people. You're going against everything about yourself, and that's what we teach people to do. We teach you how to surpass everything about yourself. We teach people how to refire new neural pathways that they never had before. That's not normal. I know what we're doing is not normal. A lot of people say they want to change, but they're not willing to do the work. Well, if this is the case, this is not for you, because we work with people that are successful. We only work with people that want to be successful. And if you don't, and you think that life is good enough the way it is, this is not for you. But for the people that are ready, that know that there's more, and know that there's more potential within inside of them, they know that they want to grow and achieve more, they know that there's something inside that wants to be drawn out, then this is a place for you. Tell us, you're back, Ta. You're with our Institute in the Mind over in Tehran, Iran. Why don't you tell us a little bit of what you saw in a different country?
Sure. So I just recently came back from Iran, and I see a lot of desire to grow, and a lot of desire to change. And I see a lot of people that are hungry to advance and to better themselves. And part of it goes back to the way things are. Always people have to improvise, and they always have to find a way to achieve a higher quality of life. Mm-hmm. And when we started setting up a workshop, we were surprised that we sold out first event very quick, and there is so much desire for growth and change, and it's interesting seeing how people investing in themselves, because before 10 years ago it wasn't like this, and now I can see that a lot of people invest in themselves, and investing in themselves meaning that they understand that the change comes within, meaning that if they want to change their quality of life, if they want to change have less casualty, higher quality of life, they understood that they need to change the way they're thinking. And when you start understanding that it all goes back to the way you're thinking and reprogram your subconscious mind, you can't stop. And that is all mental work. If I have to do that to change the quality of my life, why would I not do that?
You're willing to pay the price.
Yeah. So when we're talking about price, let's discuss that. When we talk about paying price, I have seen it many times that individual approach me or you or approach us and they're saying that, hey, I want to change. I want to do better. I want to be happier. I want to be going after my own business. I want to start my own thing. And what they think and what it is are two different things. What they think is going to be quick. They just have to adjust a few things.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, exactly. They're looking after instant satisfaction. They don't know it's a lifestyle. But when they come to me, and I always tell them, hey, you need to pay the price. Paying the price means you have to be committed. You have to spend time on this, and you have to pay for that to invest in you. Otherwise, if you pay, there's no value to it. Why would you pick this up and study it and learn it? It has to be such a big desire in the individual before they can really invest in themselves. Mm-hmm. Because if there's not a big desire, what happens is they don't want to prioritize this. They don't think it's important, so they're not going to study. If they don't pay for it, and that means they don't commit and they don't show up to the classes. So it's very important for individual to understand that this is not a course. This is not you study this and you're done and you get your certificate. This is you. And as much as you study you and understand you, as much as you know that you don't know. So at the beginning, you get excited because you're thinking you know. And as you go further, you start realizing that you don't know much. And as much as you think you do, you don't know. And this is, like Bob says, studying on you doesn't have a finish line.
There's no end date.
There's no end.
There's always more.
Exactly. It has to be consistent work. It has to be consistent. If you want to stay in shape, and I'm going to explain what I mean by stay in shape. If you want to stay in shape in life, you got to study this almost every day. You have to feed your mind with this information, how to think. And thinking is our higher faculty. It's just like a bodybuilder, if you want to give an example. If a bodybuilder goes to gym, and not a bodybuilder, someone just want to get in good shape, right? They go gym for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. They start getting in shape, and they stop going for a month. What happens? All the work that they put in is going to get out the door because they stop working continuously on themselves. So this information is like there's a hidden power, there's energy flow going through us, and we have the option. We can select what we process, whether it's positive or negative. And that's huge. That's huge that I have the power to choose what do I want to think about, what do I want to transform, what energy I want to go through my body. And when you understand that power, you can't stop.
I mean, you wouldn't select images that don't serve you anymore.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. I cannot, I know people that know me are not studying, they know, I cannot stop thinking about this or talking about it because it is everything in our life.
Yep.
The way we're
the
thinking,
mind is everything.
Everything.
The way you think.
Yeah. Man is imagination. Man is what we're living our life not by accident, but the way we are set up. And that setup, it's according to our mindset. And that setting has been given to us environmentally. However, we have gotten option, has been giving gift to us that we can change that and select.
But the majority of people don't know that.
Yeah. I didn't know I could select. I was like, it's up to the country I live, it's up to luck, it's up to possibilities, and it's up to outside of myself. And you see how people say, oh, we'll see what happens. I thought that. I don't know. I can choose and I can see and I can decide and I can rearrange the reality according to how I think and I feel in advance.
You can rearrange reality.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Beautiful thing. Let's go back to paying for this knowledge. Let's go back to paying for the institute. Let's go back to the discipline and the new way of thinking, the new process. It's not an accident that you are where you are today. It's on purpose. And you said something earlier. You said something that to the fact that it needs to be a lifestyle. Well, and I do the same thing, and I'll hear it every now and then. You know, I've heard this. There's nothing really to discuss other than forward progression with you. You're right. Why would that be? Why would somebody say to you, "There's nothing that all you're willing to talk about is where we're going and what you're doing, and how we can do something better"? Well, why wouldn't I talk like that?
Well, would you not talk like that?
Yeah. Why would I want to talk like the masses?
Yeah. Well, because the masses are not thinking. The masses are not aware, I believe. And however, that's changing. People are becoming more aware. But when you start understanding why we do the things we do and why we're creating life that we're creating, we know that more or less we're very deductive in our environment, and we do and act, and the way we communicate is more or less like the people around us and what we see. And we're just doing that. We, in a certain area, certain way, certain context, we say certain things. In a certain context, we have certain reaction, certain response. In a certain context, we get upset or happy. Is already decided for me how to live my life, unless I decide to change that.
Yep. Change direction.
Yeah.
So a man is what he thinks all day, and if we're thinking all day long how we can progress, a man is what he thinks all day. Mm-hmm. So if all we're thinking about is how we're progressing and how we're advancing and how we're achieving and how we're going to our destination and how we can bring everyone else to their destination and come with us on this path, the other outcome would be to talk about things that don't serve us, or to gossip, or to think about things that really don't matter, things that will come and go. We're consistently talking about where we're going, what we're doing, what we want to achieve, because that's where we're going. So when we look at our inner talk, or we look at the conversations we have, are they taking you where you want to go? And if they're not, let them go. If you find yourself communicating and discussing things with people that it's really not going into a new destination or towards a vision, you're going to notice that you're just wasting air. You're wasting life. Now, yes, it is different. But why wouldn't you talk about the things that serve you? Why wouldn't you talk about going somewhere, being somebody, doing something?
I think we're so occupied. One of the reason to that is because we live with our senses. Mm-hmm. We live off of what we see and what we hear. We live off of the past, and we let that determine our future.
Yep.
And a lot of times when things happen or not our favor, or we have problems, or there's things that are created in our life, we get emotionally involved with it, even though it doesn't serve us, but we think we need to do something about it, but we don't know that we should not try to work on existing reality. We should work on the cause of that effect. So what we're seeing, most of the people, what they're seeing in their reality, they don't know, they're just experiencing the cause.
The past.
The past. So if they want to, absolutely. And if they want to change it, they got to go to the cause. It's like, this is like how average individual, when I say average individual, I'm meaning masses, right? This is how they think. Let's think about this. Let's think about there's a leak in the kitchen, and they see the water, and they bring a towel, and they bring towel as fast as they can to dry it, and they think as they can bring towel faster, they get rid of the mess, right? And instead of going and working on the pipe and fix the broken pipe so they don't have all that mess, they mess with the afterwork.
Band-aid it.
They band-aid it. And they always have to keep putting the towel in unless they decide to work on the cause, which is broken pipe. That's what most of the people, when they run into a problem, that's what they do. And instead of, but however, we're saying this, but for that individual to understand this concept, they need to know what cause and effects are, how mind works, how our mechanism works, and why the relationship between mind and matter.
Mm-hmm. And the better understanding they have, they'll stop band-aiding things and actually go to the cause. And the cause is the cause of everything in life. Man's chief disillusion is believing that there's something outside of themselves that's controlling their behavior. Man's chief disillusion is thinking that there's circumstances that are happening to them. Man's chief disillusion is thinking that it's everybody's fault or their fault or his fault or her fault or the ex's fault. No, everything's from within. Man's chief disillusion is not understanding that the individual themselves is the cause of everything that they're seeing. Mm-hmm. And when we can get a better understanding of that and really work on from the inside out, we'll see a new world. New demonstrations begin to arrange themselves around you. Now, I'm going to go into just a little bit on what the masses are doing. There's groups of individuals, and those groups are getting different results. And when you go look at those different groups, they have different beliefs and they have different behaviors. And I'm going to go into the question I had earlier as well. Why wouldn't somebody just talk about where they're going, what they're achieving, and how to get there? Well, belief. Mm-hmm. They don't believe they can. That's why they're not talking about that. Mm-hmm. The only time that they talk about going somewhere new is when they're going to take a 1-week vacation, maybe a 2-week vacation. Very rare, somebody taking a 1-month vacation, and they call it vacation because that's the only time they can take off to go do that, because the rest of the time they've got to spend it trading their time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, they're talking about those things, they're doing something new only when they're going to go on vacation. They're using this word called vacation. They're only talking about using it then because the belief only supports it on that one event.
Yeah, and very interesting part is not only that, the reason they pick that vacation is because it's logic to them and they know how to do it.
Yeah.
And they know the steps, but they don't know they already made a decision to go through all these steps to experience that vacation prior, right? So if we understand and start applying our life, start applying what we just said about vacation, right? Understanding the process, because an individual might watching us, they're like, what
Still don't even understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. If you start applying that decision and saying, this is where I want to go. I'm here, I know where I'm at, and I know where I want to go. When they start making a decision, they're probably going to say, oh, I'll make a decision, but I don't know how to get there. You don't need to. You'll find how to get there when you start taking action on the way.
Because you made the decision to go there.
Right. Napoleon Hill in his book says, every time you make a decision, you'll find the people, place, plots, resources, everything that you need to support that decision. But you got to be faithful to that decision, and you got to honor the ideas on the way that have come to you, and you got to take action on them.
You got to commit to.
You got to commit to.
And when we say, the guys that are listening may not understand it because this sounds completely illogical.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound logical to first just decide, I'm going to go there, and there's a place because I want to. Mm-hmm. That's illogical. Mm-hmm. The chances are, majority of the vacations people have taken, it's because they heard their neighbor took that.
Yeah.
They heard their brother or their sister, their aunt, somebody close to them, within arm's reach, took that vacation. That's the reason they're deciding to go there. They didn't even know that wasn't even their decision. They decided it because they thought they saw somebody else do it and they believe that they can do what they did, so they're going to go do that. Mm-hmm. Instead of just deciding genuinely what I want to experience, how I want to experience it without because of him, because of her, because of this, because of that, being just right to experience that.
Yeah. But think about this difference between am I what I'm able to do and what I want? This is the key. What you're saying about vacation and making a decision is most of people always think about, and this is just across the board in life. They think about what they can do. And instead of really start looking at life and start looking at vacation, what is it that I want?
Want.
Yeah, and I heard this from individual I was coaching, and they said, "Well, I didn't never thought my want is important. I didn't never thought that my want is anything. I was always wondering. I forgot that. I was always wondering that, it's not up to me, that I make a decision and I want. And when they start getting more into it, it's so fascinating when you see them that they come and say, "Hey, I never forget this. There was a girl that I worked with almost a year. When I went to Tehran to see her, she said she's starting we're coaching them. They're starting their own beauty salon, and she told me, "Hey, Todd, remember last year I came and she was working as a manager in this beauty place, and she said she wants to go start her own place, right?" And I said, "Why haven't you?" She goes, "I don't know. I've been working here for 10 years and I do very well. And I never had the courage. I didn't know it was up to me to make a decision to go do that." Right. And after she started studying with us, when she told her boss that she's going to go start her own business, her boss offered her partnership and her boss offered her more money. And she goes, "I'm still going to make my decision. If it was old me, and if I didn't have the information, I didn't know these are paradigms that trying to hold me back. Why the owner didn't offer me a year ago a partnership when I was working here? And now these are paradigm coming up, but nothing can stop me. I'm going to go ahead and start my salon." So this individual a year ago was telling me, "Hey, I didn't know it was up to me. I didn't know. I didn't know. It was my want, what I want to experience in life. I thought it was always up to destiny, situations, up to chances, and this information has empowered me. And she's one of the people that wants to bring people, whoever is she's working with, bring into this information and give them the power back.
Do just once. Do just once what others say you cannot do, and you will never listen to them again. But you're hearing them say that you can't do it because that's their belief, then chances are that's yours. But if you do just once, but you think it's impossible, do just once. You'll never listen to the outside circumstances again. And this is what we're trying to do, is get you guys to go inside. Don't listen to the outside. Don't listen to what the masses tell you. Go find that 1 or 3% that are going opposite of the masses. That person's doing something different. Mm-hmm. I promise you. I travel the world. I traveled the world for years just to meet with a group of people. Very few select people that are thinking differently. Very few select people that were thinking differently. We wanted to bring this home. We wanted to bring this to our lifestyles. Me and you talked for years about how we would surround ourselves with the 1 to 3%. Is it an accident that we're starting to find them? Not just to come together once in a while, but live a lifestyle of only surrounding yourself with people that want to do things better than before. Only surrounding yourself with those top 1 to 3%. It will not be an accident that before long, all we associate is with minds that are doing what we want to do. That we are doing what they want to do. We're all going in a different direction. But we're working on building a group of people that are doing that. Why? Because I would come home and nobody thought the same. I would come to our businesses and nobody was thinking the same. It is very fulfilling when you can have a group and you can have a company of individuals that are hungry for life, that do not accept mediocre lives, that do not accept the circumstances, that do not accept living as they are. It's a beautiful thing to watch people grow.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. And it's very inspiring.
And not only that, we're going to be doing this on a global level.
Yeah.
We've already opened up a location in Tehran, Iran. We're looking towards Argentina. We've got other cities, other countries that we're looking at going into next. And it's all going to be about the people. The people create the model. The people that really buy into this information and want to be more than what they were in the past, and that they know that there's something inside of them waiting to be fulfilled. Waiting its chance to be fulfilled. That's spiritual consciousness that has been waiting, wanting, desiring to be more than what it was. And we all are more than what we were in the past, always. Because the spiritual essence of us is perfect.
Yeah. And it's here to expand.
Yep. Expand consciousness, expand itself, to be awake, to be aware. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful life. So if you could be in another country right now. If this is touching your heart, you want to look into it, you want to be a part of it, let us know. Mm-hmm. We are working towards opening institutes of the mind globally. And this is our vision, this is our goal, this is where we're going.
Yeah. Yeah, what we're doing is really helping individual to raise their level of awareness. The first thing that individual has to have to really work with us is really desire. They have to have a huge desire, because if you don't have the desire, it's something.
Desire and belief.
Yeah, desire, and you want to express that desire. If you don't have that big of a desire, your limited belief is going to hold you back. All I need is a desire and commitment. And when that individual has desire and is committed to do the work, the results has to come.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people say, hey, how do I change? You change by the things that you do. Your state of being is going to change by the things you do. And if you're doing the same thing that you were doing last month or last year, just look at your activity. If you're doing the same thing, you're probably getting more or less same result. A lot of people think they change, and they say, I change, I know this, and they tell me they know it. But doing part, there's a gap right there. And the doing part, if that doesn't happen, that part, result won't change. It's just like I memorize things. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of people that memorize and speak very well, but when it comes to doing part, they have a hard time.
Yeah, the results don't
executing, yeah. So the knowing and doing part is first is having a desire and commitment, then understanding, then through understanding, start taking action.
Yeah, there's the conscious mind is our intellect. We can memorize stuff all day long, be really good at memorizing, but the only thing that we're doing is mastering how to memorize. It has nothing to do with doing. Mm-hmm. There's people with books of knowledge, intellect, intelligence, and get mediocre results. It's because the subconscious doesn't know it. The vibration in the subconscious mind hasn't changed. And if the vibration in the subconscious mind hasn't changed, you haven't changed. That's the trick.
Yeah. And it's a process. It's a process of change. It won't happen overnight. And it's a process that you need to...
It can.
Yeah, it can.
But rarely.
Emotional. It requires emotional impact. But what I'm saying is it's a good start, but it's not something that... It's not a period of 1 month or 6 months or a year. It's a lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
And I really... One thing, when I work with people, one thing I'll tell them that, hey, let's start, and a second, don't get out. When you come in, you're not going out. When you come in, your job is to expand the rest of your life, to dedicate the rest of your life to this progression, to working on you.
To
yourself. And when you do that, that's where you find love, that's where you find prosperity, that's where you find good health.
Everything.
That's where you find fulfillment. Yep. You know, it is misunderstood that a lot of people come to me because they want to make better money, which is fine. It's good. We all have to understand the money first. But you can have all the money in the world but not be fulfilled. And the fulfillment part is the essence part of you that wants to get fulfilled. And if you don't take care of that, it doesn't matter how successful you are. You're still missing something. You're
And you
still
will
having
not
a
feel
lack.
fulfilled. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to always feel empty inside.
Yeah.
Your cup's not full because you're not filling it, because the essence of you knows that it's empty. That's powerful. The essence of you knows you're empty, and you're fulfilling your life with things that don't serve you and things that you truly don't desire. We hit that. I think you may have gotten life.
I don't know.
I was going to
It was
peek
it,
my
yeah.
camera. Okay.
Okay.
So this life-giving purpose is desire. And it's the desire is to really unleash the chains and to grow, to expand, to become more, to have more, to achieve more. The fulfilling part of you is always for expansion and fuller realization. That's the truth. So really, it's really for the advancement of consciousness. That's what we're doing. The work that we're doing here, the work that we're doing in Argentina. Argentina will be one of the places we're looking at opening an institute next. Why? Because the desire is there. The people that desire to grow will have their place, will have their home.
Mm-hmm.
The people that desire to grow and to have their place will have their home. Not because it can't happen somewhere else, but because the people that are willing to do the work have committed and made a committed decision to building it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that is the higher understanding of a higher side of a personality that knows that it's our responsibility to unlock, to unleash the perfection from within.
Mm-hmm.
It's our responsibility.
Absolutely. And think about this. When you start looking and study people that have been doing this for a long time, like Bob Proctor, Eric Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, and they're really talking about we're here to learn and serve, and really understand that here to learn, that means that process. They never said you learn and you're done. Learning is a part of you're always learning. And very, very another important part is not just learning, it's serving others, pass the knowledge, help the others become more conscious. And I believe when you start doing that, obviously you're working with laws. Well, when you're helping others, you're helping yourself. And when you do that, I think that reward and that feeling and fulfillment is it's uncomparable to anything else in life. When you see someone coming in, they're not happy with themselves, they're not happy with their results, and then they work with you and you see them change in 6 months or a year, and you see they're getting the result that they want, and they're happy in their life and they're fulfilled. And from that point, they start working on themselves and they never stop. It's so fulfilling that I don't think so anything in the world that compares to that feeling.
Yeah.
When you're helping others.
It's the day you change is the day you figure out your value. Truly understand your value. The day you change is the day you decide your value and how you're going to give your value away, giving the gift away. But you'll never understand your value and you'll never understand the giving part if you never go inside. Because it's when you go inside that you find that there's something more inside of you that was ready to be birthed, to evolve, to grow. And it's that spiritual consciousness, when it is awakened, will begin to give, and give royally, and give on purpose. And that's what we've come to. We're businessmen, and we enjoy doing what we do, and we enjoy helping people, and we're giving the gift away, and we're establishing institutes for consciousness of the mind globally because we're going to give the gift away. When we figure out that the value is inside, the value of each man is locked inside. And it takes responsibility and somebody to want to be responsible, to leave something behind for humanity. That's the gift. And that'll be the gift that keeps giving in many forms.
Mm-hmm.
We can give that gift beyond our time as we see it. That's a beautiful gift.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Understanding it and giving it, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the knowing and doing.
Yeah.
6:35. We got about another 30 minutes. The knowing and doing. How often have you were talking about earlier, people are saying they know, but they're not doing. What's going on in that?
Well, that goes back to first understanding in mind, where is our knowing and where is our doing? Our knowing is in our conscious mind, where we can choose, we can select, we can create ideas, and that's where our higher faculties, memories is there as well. So we can start hearing, accepting, and memorizing the information, right? But we do not see any changes in our reality because that knowing has not converted to doing. So our subconscious mind is in charge of our reality, is in charge of our behavior, is in charge of our action, is in charge of our decisions, right? So 95% of our decisions and the things that we do is according to who we are, which is in our subconscious mind.
And that was the cause that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So you're getting into the cause, which is predetermined reality. A lot of you didn't know that your life was predetermined. More or less. You can pick different experiences.
Yeah.
You can pick different relationships. You could pick different businesses to go into or to go work for. But you'll find yourself every time, every turn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cause. And that's what we're talking about, is the root cause of all things was you. You can express your consciousness through different behaviors, but you're expressing you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're the cause. It's your mind that's set. You can go and act as a delivery man one day. You could act as a supervisor the next. You can act and portray whatever you want. But the truth is, you can never get away from yourself. That's the key. And that's the thing that keeps producing the results over and over again. It's not on accident. It's right on time. Not on accident. It's right on time. When you begin to look at your results, you're like, wait a minute. Everywhere I go, I see me. If you really wake up, if you really begin to pay attention, you're going to begin to really, really see everywhere I go, I see my beliefs. Everywhere I go, I meet with an invisible film. Once you've gone beyond what you know how to do, you've felt this invisible layer. Everybody's felt it. I know you have. And it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter how much money you're earning. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're always going to find this invisible layer that does not allow you to go further or to overcome certain situations. That's not on accident. That's right on plan. A lot of people didn't know that there was a program. A lot of people didn't know that there is a set of beliefs that are ruling your behavior. But when we begin to really understand it and understand what we need to do to reprogram our subconscious, or we begin to understand that there is a program, we begin to understand that there's these belief systems, we begin to understand that your perception is governed by those beliefs and by that program. When you really begin to understand that there is a process to success and that you weren't given the code, you weren't given the way out or the key, we have the key. We can teach you how to do it. We're teaching people how to unlock the door to whatever you want. There's men that have been through the ages, been studying this information. This information goes beyond Bob. It goes beyond Carnegie, Hill. It goes beyond these men. This information's old information. It's been hidden in books. It's been put away. It's been hidden in the caverns. This information starts from the beginning of time to the one that was ready. The one that was ready. Now through these years and through generations, we've got it in books so that it's more easily processed. We don't have to study through books. We don't have to study through lectures. We don't have to. We've got a process set up, designed to help you step by step. teaching you matter, mind and hand. Teach you how to reprogram your subconscious mind, how to alter the pattern plan, how to truly rewrite reality. Let's talk about will.
Mm-hmm.
How often do we find somebody that tries to will their way? Will is good. There's other things as well. Will is your ability to select the images that you're going to work with, that you're going to become. Will was not just about forcing something into action. Will was your true ability to select whatever it is that you desire. You had to have an iron will. You had to have a will that was beyond a lot of other people's wills, or the desire had to be so big according to your own beliefs and so many other beliefs to come from Iran to set foot here and to be here today, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means you had a what?
I had the will. I had the desire,
Mm-hmm.
and I was faithful to that desire and vision, and I was holding it with my will. That means I was keep thinking about it, regardless of the results that I was getting.
And the circumstances,
Yeah,
the people that were telling you it couldn't
no,
be
you
done,
can't go. It couldn't be done.
or maybe let it go.
Yeah.
How many times do you hear let it go?
Yeah, a lot for my family. Yeah, they even tell me to stay in Iran and build a life there. But I did refuse to accept because I knew one way, I don't know why, but I knew one way or another I'm going to land in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Something was drawing you.
Yeah. So I keep taking action. It wasn't just I'm thinking. This is another issue because people, they think and have these big ideas, but you don't see any changes in their life because they don't take that constant action.
Mm-hmm.
And they're waiting for a perfect time.
Yep.
There's no such a thing as a perfect time.
Or the chance.
Yeah. The only time that you have is right now. Is what you're doing right now. It's determine the future. So even though I was trying really hard and I was declining or I couldn't make it, I never give up.
You just weren't in harmony yet. That's it.
Yeah.
But what you were doing every time was you were working with the vision, because you kept working with the vision. And I'm going to go a little further than that. You're being guided by a vision.
Oh, absolutely. That's the whole key, because when you understand the mind and we're image maker and we're solely operate off of the image, that dominant image that we have and dominant feeling, you know that image is guiding you. And when that image is guiding you, there's no wrong decision.
Yep. Spiritual consciousness was guiding you.
Yeah.
That started at, you can't even remember the age, right?
Yeah.
Is that an accident?
No.
Not anymore, is it?
Yeah. No.
The more we begin to understand, there are no accidents.
Mm-hmm.
The more we begin to understand, there are no accidents. So the vision was drawing you. The vision was a part of you. The vision was you, was to be here.
Yeah.
You were coming here to learn something about yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I came here, it was not what I thought it was going to be. Because what I thought is going to be, it was totally different when I landed. But I said, hey, you've been looking for this opportunity and you need to, this is your, people say chance, right? At that time I was saying chance too, right? This is your luck. Take care of it, right? But through time, when I started studying more, I understood chance is when preparedness meet opportunities. When you're prepared,
say it again.
when the chance is where preparedness meet opportunity, so you got to be prepared and ready for something before you see it.
Because you were already seeking it.
Yeah.
There's the unseen. You're being moved by an unseen vision.
Yeah.
Nobody else could see it.
No. But people thought I'm crazy.
That's preparedness.
Yeah.
Being guided by an unseen vision.
People thought I'm wasting my time. But they were telling me, hey, why don't you go do this, do that? I said, I'm not here staying long term. I'm going to U.S. And they're like, you're crazy.
Yeah. It already happened.
Because I had that, I was the only one carrying that image, and nobody would other me to understand. That's another thing. I always tell people, say, hey, the dream that you have, keep it and speak about it. Because people say, hey, don't tell everybody because people are going to bring you down, or they're going to challenge your opinion. But if you have a strong will,
A desire, you're not going to hear what they say.
yeah, exactly. I didn't hear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being guided. And it's a really beautiful thing when you really start to understand this information. You start to understand that we were always being guided.
Yeah.
We're all men. All men were created equal. All men have that spiritual essence that inside that's wanting to be drawn out, that's wanting to come out, that's wanting to fulfill, that's wanting to create, that knows it's more. Majority of individuals are not being guided by their higher inner self. They're letting circumstances control their behavior. They're not letting the light from within move them. The beliefs and the thoughts and all those things are normally controlling other people's behaviors, and they're not really going off of their true desires. But you done something different.
Yeah, well, think about this. We're always expressing, right? We're always expressing, and I believe that where we're going and where our vision is, we have to always express it. One, because of the energy, right? What we're expressing, it has to come back to its source. One. Second,
Can you say that one more time?
what you're expressing, it has to come back to its source.
Well said.
Whatever we're releasing has to come back to its source. But when we're expressing, people, places, and applause, people will hear us. The individual that is going to help us, or because we work through people, and people are a connection, right? Let's think about this, how you and I met. If I was not going to express that I want to get an oil and gas business, if I was going to express to people that I want to start a new business, I would never met that person who introduced you to me. I would just say, I'm going to keep this vision to myself, and I'll be going to quiet and not talk about it. But anywhere I go, I was expressing it. And guess what? That day I saw a tattoo in the gym on this guy, had Rig Life or something like that. And I was like, oh, I need to express now. And I expressed to him, and he said, he know you and I met you. So if I was going to keep that goal to myself or vision to myself and nobody knew about it, I would have connected to you. And I believe that we should have a very clear, defined goal where we're going and what we want. Because when you have that and when you talk about it, it's just like kind of you're working towards shaping your future. Right now, the life that I have or result that I have, if you ask my mom or sister or my close friend, they're like, we're never surprised because you always thought about this. You always talk about those cars. You always talk about the house. You always talk about business. You always talk about traveling the world. And you always express those. And I think back and I'm like, I was doing it, but I wasn't thinking, but I was expressing it always, that what I want to see. So I always tell people, always express what your true desire and fulfillment is. Go after what you want, because when you start understanding this dynamic, this perimeter that we live in is designed truly to fulfill your desire and give you what you want.
Yep.
What you want is not just sit here and say, okay, well, I want this, and why is it not happening? It's not happening because it's not instant.
You're not true to it.
Exactly. And you haven't become that to be able to see it. James Allen says, you know, we think in secret and it comes to pass. Our life is but looking glass. And really, when you see things, if it's in your favor, if it's something that you want, you know that you brought it. If it's something that you don't like or is not something that you don't want, you have to go see within.
You still brought it.
You still brought it. What's coming, you attract it. If you don't want it, you can't change it.
Yep. You stay true to your vision. Stay true to whatever it is that you need to do to become who you need to become. Mm-hmm. And that's what we've been doing. We've been staying true and staying on course. We're everything we do on purpose to a definite end.
And definite end, that means you're not letting vision. That's very, very important. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about persistence. Persistence is a mental work. You're talking about holding that vision, persistent mental work. And some people say, why don't I have persistent? You do have a persistent, but you use it on persisting on the image of your automatic programming that you're going to go do those certain things to not go after your vision. You have a perfect persistent. You are perfect. And when you are understanding more of your mechanism, how you operate, you understand how just perfect how successful you are designed.
Mm-hmm.
And that success, because people think success is, making it through life or having good salary or having good social level. Success is we're all born successful. And when we understand our mechanism, how it works, we don't have to invent the whole wheel. All we got to do, work with it.
Mm-hmm.
Understand how it works. And like we're saying, hold the image, know what is it that you want, and start working toward it.
Yep. Yeah, the wheel's already established.
Yeah.
Your responsibility is to cooperate with creation.
Mm-hmm.
To put your vision in the wheel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wheel of time.
Yeah.
Measuring itself.
Yeah.
See that symbol everywhere.
Yeah.
Wheel of time measuring itself.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting closer to time. I want to thank you guys for showing up. And if you're seeing a recording of this, this is meant for you. Listen to understand. Don't just hear. Listen means you're emotionally involved with it and you're going to act and do. That's creation.
Yeah.
That's power.
And really, we live once as far as we know, and we have to always say you have a wealth, and your wealth is your time. And think about what are you exchanging your time for, and are you exchanging your time for something that is worthy of you? That's the key. Ask yourself that question every day, and you know what to do. I want to thank everyone for watching this live. We're here. We have classes in 3 languages: Spanish, English, and Farsi. Our classes are live on Zoom. We have individuals all over the world that we coach. If you have any questions about our classes or courses, or you need help, contact our website, www.iammastermind.com. We have a great support, and they can help you to see what program fits you best, and we're here to help you. Make a decision today that you're worthy and your life is important. And you're here to experience prosperity, health, wealth, and a great life. And if you're not experiencing it, it's because of you. And you can change it. You have the ability to change it. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.